Hi, my name's Debbie. I'm a 63-year-old mother, grandmother, I'm very sadly a widow, but I am a kidney donor, and I donated my kidney 2 years ago to a total stranger. Stephen and I were strangers until the night before our surgery. I found Stephen on a website called The Kidney Connection. It's a website designed for people to be proactive in their search for a kidney donor. Stephen had written a short biography about himself, told about his family and what he was all about and why he needed a new kidney. And with the story I read from him, it was so amazing. I just knew that he was my man and that he was going to be the one that I wanted to donate my kidney to. He just had such a moving story and he seemed to be the right match for me. So I went ahead and I started my journey towards kidney donation, and it was awesome. My kidney story is a little bit different than probably most everybody else's. I think everybody's story is amazing and beautiful, but I love mine, so here it is. About 3 years ago, I was vacuuming my living room, and I got a sign from heaven from my husband, who had passed away a year before. The sign was telling me, please go to your computer. So I did. I sat down on my computer and Facebook was open. The first thing I saw was a sign that someone had posted saying that their daddy needed a new kidney. When I first saw the sign, I thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't that have been amazing if I could have put a sign out in my front yard when my husband desperately needed a new esophagus. He died last year of esophageal cancer. There was nothing that could have stopped it, and there was no hope for him. But when I saw this on Facebook, a child pleading for someone to donate their kidney to help save their father, there was hope for him. There was hope for all of them. So I sat back and thought for about maybe 1 minute. I thought, I think this is meant for me. So I answered their call. I dialed the phone, and I found a wonderful staff on the other side of the phone. They walked me through everything I needed to do, and I was ultimately able to be a kidney donor. Stephen was a stranger to me when we first met the night before surgery. I didn't know much about him. All I knew was that he was desperate and his family needed him, and I was going to be his donor. I was a perfect match. I knew absolutely nothing about kidney disease. No one in my family had ever suffered from it, and I didn't know anyone who was on dialysis. So I really had to start from square one in learning about kidney disease. Stephen had not shared much of it with me, except what I had read online, and that he was on dialysis for 9.5 hours every single day of his life for the past many years. I thought that was really, really sad. And he had 4 children and a wife and a job, and that just did not seem fair. So I thought, why not give him a try? And he ended up being the perfect one. I started the process of kidney donation without telling my family first. I thought, why bother them? Because I'm 62 years old and I may not be able to be a donor, so why worry them? But once I got the process started and I knew that I was a good candidate, I broke the news to them. My mother was thrilled. She said that there couldn't be a kinder thing to do with my life than to save someone else's. My children, though very supportive, were a bit worried. They had just lost their father, and that was a huge, huge loss for them. So they wanted me to take my time and really process what this meant and weigh the pros and cons of what this might mean for them if something were to go wrong. But I was pretty headstrong, as I always am, and I knew in my heart that I was going to be all right. And I asked for signs, I prayed, and I knew this was going to turn out just fine for both of us. And it did. What got harder or scary for me? Well, actually nothing. I was pretty set on the fact that I had faith in God and faith in the doctors, and I believed that everything was going to be okay. I went in with a positive attitude, and nothing was going to stop me from doing this, and that I was going to make someone's life better. And that's all it took for me, was knowing that I could possibly save someone's life. There was never a doubt in my mind. I was always confident, secure, and happy. And I was right. As I was being rolled into the operating room, I thought, well, I was excited. I couldn't wait for that minute to happen. Stephen and I were across the room from each other in pre-op, and we were able to wave to each other and give a thumbs up, though we couldn't get near each other. Our families walked back and forth and talked to each other, and we were really excited that the day had finally come. We would all meet, and we would all know that Stephen's journey and quest for a kidney donor had actually happened. And I felt nothing but extreme joy, and I just wanted to get the whole story started. But it was pretty exciting too, because Channel 2 News from our local station decided to run a story on us. They had heard from the hospital that there was some strange lady who decided to give her kidney to a stranger, and it hit the internet, and that was pretty cool. So they decided to interview us the night before, and they actually came in and watched my whole surgery. They filmed the entire surgery and was ready to put it on the news. So we were making headlines. We didn't know it was going to happen, but it was pretty cool. So we were excited. The best moment after my surgery? Well, that was waking up and finally finding that my kidney was a perfect match and a perfect fit for Stephen, and that he was recovering very well, and that in 2 days I would be able to walk down to his room and shake his hand and sit beside him and help him enjoy life as it is without a dialysis machine on him 9.5 hours every day. That was amazing. Okay, my recovery. The day of surgery, of course, I was under a lot of anesthesia, and I woke up slowly and groggy, but I was a chatterbox. They said I talked nonstop to every single person that came in the room and asked them all sorts of silly questions and thanked them 1,000,000 times, and was so silly. It was okay. I didn't mind. They even recorded it because it was so funny. The next day, I could feel the pain. There was some pain. They had just cut my abdomen open. And of course, the muscles were sore, and I needed help sitting up, and I needed help getting out of bed and walking. I shuffled like a very old person down the hall, back and forth and back and forth. They told me that was a very good thing to do, to keep my muscles moving and to keep my body moving well and start the recovery process. So I did. Now, one time while I was in the hospital, did I ever ask for pain medication? There was no need for any pain medication because the pain was very tolerable. To this day, I have not needed any medication at all because I have been so healthy ever since. And I guess maybe that's a little unusual, but hey, that's who I am. What did I learn about myself and others? Well, I learned to trust my gut instincts. I learned to pray and to have faith and to be thankful for everything I have. I learned that other people don't share the same thoughts as I do about donation. Almost every single person I encountered after my donation asked me who I donated to. And when I told them it was to a stranger, they all said, "Why would you do that? Why would you give up a kidney to a total stranger?" That puzzled me. I thought it was a piece of cake for me. Why wouldn't it just be a no-brainer for anybody else? But apparently not everybody thinks like I do. And that's okay. But it was my decision, and it was something that I needed to do for myself, and I needed to go ahead with my plan for my journey in my life. And that was part of it. And I'm so proud and so happy that I did it. I became a much stronger and self-confident person. And I am so proud to call myself a kidney donor. After donating my kidney, nothing changed in my life. There was no signs of health issues at all. I was able to resume my normal life. I babysit my 4 grandsons every day, and I was able to start walking them back and forth to school within the first week. That was awesome. I have no pains, no aches, nothing to show except for my 4 beautiful little scars that no one can even see unless they ask to see them. And I proudly will show them. As for my life changing, well, I learned how to do public speaking, and that was terrifying for me. I've been asked to do several speeches. I've been on several TV shows, and that has made me a stronger person as well. And I don't regret any of it. It's scary as heck for me, but I am all about donation now. Something I didn't expect about donation was the publicity. I think that was the thing that really shocked me the most. Everything else I was pretty prepared for. I had one thing that was really fun that happened. I designed my own t-shirt to promote living organ donation, and I wore it when I was on a television show. And when I was at an airport, a woman stopped me and she said, "I think I know you." And I said, "Where would you know me from?" She said, "Didn't you donate a kidney to a stranger?" Yes, that was me. What an exciting day that was to have someone actually notice and remember me. And I think that is the biggest thing that surprised me about being a donor, was that so many people had so many questions, but I am always ready to answer. Looking back, what was the best part about donating my kidney? That's easy. It was just saving his life. It was just changing and making a difference for a man that deserved a wonderful quality of life and did not have it. I was happy that his family could reap the benefits of having their dad back again and strong and healthy, and that they will be able to live their life as they had planned for their happily ever after. Even though I don't have my happily ever after with my husband, I'm really happy that the two of them can have theirs. And there's nothing that will be able to replace that feeling that I have in my heart about how wonderful that is for them. Advice for someone else thinking about being a donor. Absolutely. Call your hospital. Say, "I would like to consider being a living donor." They will walk you through the process. It's very easy. Someone will always be by your side. They will guide you every step of the way. They are the most incredibly supportive people you will ever meet, and you will have a lifelong bond with the people in the hospital that take you through this journey. It is something I will never, ever regret. And if I had another kidney to donate, I would do it in a heartbeat. I had also considered giving part of my liver as a living donor for that as well. Unfortunately, there's an age restriction on that, and I am now too old, which is sad. But at least I thought about it, and at least I was ready to go ahead and do that. But really, it is just something that is just an amazing thing to do. So just get started. That's my advice. This is the sweatshirt I helped design. It says, "Be the one. Support live donor organ donation." On the back, it simply says, "Someone's waiting for you." I love my sweatshirt. I wear it all the time, and I get lots of questions, and it promotes a lot of talk about who I am and what my journey has been all about. And it's an exciting journey. It's a really exciting journey. I am so happy to have been able to have been selected to share my journey with you. And I am so willing to talk to anyone who wants to ask me any questions and see what it's like. I'm a 63-year-old grandmother. I have a wonderful life ahead of me, and I have no regrets behind me. So please think about what you would like to do in your life when you look back upon it and say, did I make the right decisions? How did I make my mark in the world? And for me, I know what I did. I stepped up. Be the one.